Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to KritzKast. SDCK's E2F12 reign might be over, but they're going up against Equestria girls, who were their opponents in last season's grand finals. But I'm Dave, joined by DuMmTm, and Wiethoofd is on the camera. How are you doing, Dum?
Exactly my fault. A lot of question marks with them going forward. Obviously, whenever you see a good team lose, right? The question is always there: is it done? Is it over? Yeah, we'll see. It's I feel like one of 3 maps anyone in EU Highlander played last season in playoffs, which hopefully means these guys are well prepared. EG against SDCK now on this prude game to just decide who gets first seed right now. They're both tied in points, of course, undefeated so far. Someone's going to give way here for the other to get first seed for the rest of the season.
Both teams just rolling across the point. Jackie Legs jumps straight in, like he's taken out by Buko though, and Jackie Legs taken down, so that actually gives Equestria girls opportunity now to press forward, not having to worry with sightlines, not having to worry with Jackie Legs coming in at any moment. Andre goes in for something, does get reflect killed, but the frag's very much in Equestria girls' favour, and SDCK are going to have to back out of here. They even lost Gedu.
That hurts quite a bit. Assassin taken down in return, though it keeps the Ubers far from even, actually. Get with much faster spawn. Will be up in a second, and likely he might have took the short end of the stick at the beginning of the mid-fight, back to dealing massive damage at the end. Most of the side here on blue, slowly but surely trying to still contest for any ground they can. With little heals, it's just so much more difficult. Whatever they have, they throw towards point, but eventually just out-muscled a little bit here. Demo Pyro down, doesn't allow to contest point much more. This cap will go red for the time being.
Yeah, I got a lot of damage down there onto that SDCK combo. Both Dick Source and Buddy were down into about single-digit healths, but no one really there to follow up. You can see Equestria girls just getting back in the action, just getting their heals back into play. So there's going to be quite a considerable ad here for Gedu, but I expect Equestria girls will push before that even comes into play.
A lot to spam with a point, but it looks like EG is getting the move on now to get the cap time here. A lot of reaction out of SDCK, just enough to block the cap for a little while. Doesn't last too long, however, before the Ubers have to come out. Points already traded, which sounds like good news overall. The Uber comes in now. If you die and they're recapping, it will not be that bad a loss, and looks like they can just escape just fine. A couple of losses on the way for the blue team, but overall, that's really what you wanted to see, right? They got the cap baited out a couple seconds as they're getting the force of their timer. Not too bad. In fact, they tied it up all the way, and now they have the advantage to play with. As long as this Uber is any better than SDCK just now did with their own Uber, they're in a pretty good position, actually.
Yeah, they've recycled it well. They did lose a few players, so they've had to wait for those spawns, but they are up and ready to go now, and straight away Nambu is just launching himself across the right-hand side of the point. Everyone from SDCK is trying to leave through that main. Minix is only just chasing up to follow in now, and everyone's just going to kind of descend back onto the point, cap it out. We can see Nambu wants to stay forward, but he gets gunned down himself as everyone else backs up, so there's going to be no Demoman for the next fight, and Gedu's close to Uber as well.
Cap time plenty on the side of SDCK. They're still trying desperately to block this, but everyone on SDCK, everyone on red just piles up on that one little corner and doesn't get punished for it in the lack of a demo man they're feeling right now. Not enough damage in the corner, not enough spam to really take care of that. Uber still comes out at the end though as they're capping it. That's just a bit of a rough one. It was going so well for so long. They're keeping the demo man down as we speak still. That hurts the repush chances a little bit, I suppose, on blue, but still in Uber it feels like very wasted by SDCK.
Yeah, I didn't quite get what they would have wanted. May went really, really deep. He did take Assassin very low as well, but Mezzo wasn't quite in position to follow up. Did force Assassin all the way back into the spawn, so again, it's quite a long recycle once more from Equestria, and that is why they're a little bit down on the timer, but there is an Uber once more ready to go here.
This one has to do some damage, and it's doing damage on the opposite side already. Snipe comes through quite early, but there's the rest of it. Manic, Namber, Hondo all flying in at once with this Uber charge. Taking down the combo quite nicely, but kind of just stuck in the middle of everyone else afterwards. Got the Medic, got the Demo Man, and then just surrounded by the rest of SDCK. Does not give them a chance to get back out, let alone give them the time to really just get the cap on the wrap as well. This is still SDCK's timer ticking down for so long. Finally recap here. I guess they are better off waiting for this one. Medic's back, spawned up again already. Gives them a better match spawn time, I suppose. But there's ways to combat that on the other side, with the looks of it being right now that Gedu and gang want to have a crit streak to deal with the slightly funky situation they would have otherwise.
Yeah, Jackie Legs jumping in behind. Actually, Namber again gets caught out, kind of alone, kind of trying to fight the point, deny, but no one really there to support him. KritzKast is probably going to be up here for Gedu just shortly before Assassin goes in, but looks like SDCK just muscling their way onto the point dry. Going to get a lot of cap time down, and Kritz is going to be up very, very shortly, but Actually, no, because Buko hits a crucial headshot onto Gedu.
Yeah, it's not even a matter of popping crits and still being vulnerable, because it's just not Ubercharge. No, that just happens before that. It was even a consideration in their minds to pop the Uber just yet. They both hurt badly on the side of SDCK. EG already all over the point, and maybe a little bit carelessly so as well. Every eye up front onto the combo, looking for whatever might be coming their way, blocking this. No, the Spy is the one bringing it back right now. Picklass is working overtime for these two teams. Book is not done yet either, defending this point. They got the cap. They have to live with Assassin having the longer spawn of the two medics now. Gotta make the most of it and just see if you can get as much time off this cap as possible. They're still behind after all. They can't let SDCK just get away with this.
And again, Dixos finds a frag onto Number. I think that's 3 times already this round that he's taken him out. Not a great scenario for Number. And the cap does come in for SDCK. That's going to force Equestria goes hand. They're going to have to push very quickly here. Probably going to want to push before Gedu gets up on the Uber, as he once more has quite a... I mean, it's a smaller ad now, but it's definitely still workable back on that Medigun as well. Up to 90%. Equestria goes aren't even moving though. Buko hits a headshot onto Buddy, does open things up, but cap time is starting to come in and Uber is out for Gedu. Going to come over to the left-hand side, going to try and rebuff people off the point. Don't think Equestria goes, they have a bit of cap time to work with, but can anyone get on the point? It's going to elapse very, very shortly. Namba does get the frag that he wants onto Gedu, but everyone else is out for the count, and SDCK take the first round.
Yeah, exactly what you see in these endgame positions. Just force your opponents to be the ones going towards you while you already sit there with the Py-Bun in hand. Exactly where you want to be at the end of a round on King of the Hill. Any single map that is really. SDCK making good use of that last advantage. Gets them up around here. Long ways to go still before that's enough to win. But despite it being fairly close, they still had everything under control by the end of it all. With some flaws on the way maybe, but if it just gets a little bit cleaner from here, what they have already is looking pretty good. Let's see if the mid-fight might look a little bit different. They did cake it home last time, but it did take quite a while to actually get the first wing on the first engagement of the round. For now, Snipes, once again, looking good for Buku at the beginning of the round. Gets the Demoman down instead of a Sniper this time, but it's still a really, really good kill to have, and they're looking to be taking as much freedom as they can with this on Spy behind, combo up front, trying to just bunch up for a lot of damage, and they're hitting pretty much all of it.
Yeah, Gedu is presumably going to want to leave because a lot of his important classes have gone down in front of him. Likey, Dixos, Buddy, and May were all out of that mid-fight. It's going to allow Equestria to try and set up a little bit of a kind of aggro hold on the point, deny all that kind of low ground area. Pressure in through the flank, and Honjo is actually going to get taken out. So that flank is now open for SDCK to walk through, but not. They actually going to have to just walk into Buko's sightline. He's going to hit a nice headshot onto T-Board and gets one more headshot for his troubles before going down to Likey.
Yeah, that's 3 down already on the side of EGS. They're just trying to set up, and look at that. The flank push from SDCK catching them very by surprise, actually. Much earlier, you out of the blue team could do some big damage at the end. Namba certainly isn't getting out, took the long way around compared to the rest of the team. And that just cost them one good player already right away, as the rest of SDCK is just getting to point, doing the rest of the damage, hitting everything. 2 snipes, some pipes on the way there as well, just to clean up what's left. Beautiful stuff from the whole red squad. Basically a full wipe if you ignore the pick classes still being up. And you really can't, I guess, on SDCK, but they have everything under control. Spice not popping up just yet. Sniper was inside and not hitting enough to matter, so all under control for the team in red. They still have a bit of catching up to do, but it's early in the round, being a couple seconds behind, not too big a loss just yet, especially if this Uber advantage alone can cover pretty much all of that if it's just getting a few kills.
Yeah, we see them bunch up close on the point, but again, Buko wins that SVS against Likey, definitely having the better of that so far. Number's going to play very, very close. There's so many plays to potentially spam down. Gedu's just sat in a dispenser and bunch up his full combo around him. They do get the foresight here, but he gets launched a little bit up in the air, but doesn't get too much damage down for his Uber. Mezu gets caught as well. A nice body shot taking out Jackie Leg, so SDCK just kind of bleeding plays for that Uber.
This might just cost them here a little bit as well, as the push over point finally starts by EG. Have fine position as the rest of the team is just taking this all the way over the point with whatever they have, and yeah, SDCK is giving way pretty quickly. They didn't want to risk much at all there. They knew the Uber was coming up, and staying any longer will just make Assassin use and throw everyone right into the middle of the red team. Not really worth it. Want to just get a good force themselves going right now, trying at least, and they're getting what they want. Damage on Namba actually forces the Uber out of Assassin's hands, thinking the rest of the team must be close by, and I mean, they're not really far away, but just barely enough out of sight to just walk away alive for the most part. And late deaths are going to hurt as well. That's costly right now. SDCK can push back instantly with their own Uber advantage. On no demo, no pyro, that is gonna make things a lot easier.
Yeah, not only did the Uber get forced relatively cheaply just by Buddy walking in and putting damage on to Number, but Number gets dropped as they back out from the tail end of that Uber, doesn't get that final flash that he probably would have wanted, and is going to go down. It's going to allow SDCK to blob up on the point, but they bombers it in. Going to see, oh my god, Hondro launched himself in, gets the force, Gedu going down very, very low himself, but popping to save himself. SDCK looking to chase forward with this Uber. But again, Jackie Legs gets taken out and Assassin's nice and safe.
It's gonna set them up finally to maybe start catching up to the timer. Despite it looking pretty good for them for the most part, they still are staying behind on the clock the entire round. It feels like a bit more work to do in that department. And it won't be made easier by Assassin about to be getting to 100 just now as well. So they're still gonna be very careful about what they're doing and how aggressive they are on the point. And for what it's worth, they're not very aggressive at all. They're all behind the point. Oftentimes you see people hold all the way on the capture area, but not with this Uber situation. They got to get out of here quick, and making the responsible choice early. Hondro trying to catch him by surprise, but doesn't quite get away with that one either. And in the end, yeah, they get a couple of kills, but it's not really enough at all, and with a few of them dying on the way there as well, it's not going to make things much better as well. I don't know if they're purposefully delaying the cap right now, or just kind of incidentally, but either way, it's time for SDCK as the Uber's already coming in, doing massive damage onto the combo. They were just sitting there chasing ghosts behind the point, and they're bombing right on top of everything, cleaning up big time. Hondro from this flank can't really get in at all, it looks like. Yeah, stuck on the spy, can't get ahead of him. Big stuff by SDCK, and like I said, the timer has been ticking down the entire time for them.
Yeah, I think Assassin knew that SDCK were close to that Uber, but didn't quite get the memo exactly how close they were to his team. Just charging from that flank area down that leaf kind of path area straight into Assassin. He gets caught out, and that was a very, very successful Uber for SDCK. Just 16 seconds left. Probably one more attempt here for Equestria goes.
Might not meet much more on that end. Here already a lot of kills going to be on the EG side. Not what they like to see at all. They have to be on point, but how do you fight back any second longer? And Gedu will get the supercharge, and they're not even needing it. It looks like Buddy alone over the point hits 3 people for the price of 1, it feels like. And that will end the round. So far, so good. It's getting better as time goes on, it feels like, for SDCK.
Yeah, seem to be getting into a bit of a rhythm of being able to keep Gedu alive. Not always getting super successful Ubers, but the thing is, every time they're at least forcing Equestria goes pretty much all the way back to spawn and buying some time for themselves and then absorbing the Equestria goes Uber bet themselves.
Alright, into the third round of this match. Still a lot at stake here. You can make this comeback happen. It wasn't that much of a roll just yet, but EG really has to put themselves together to just avoid these big pushes, these big ad pushes SDCK has been getting time and time again, just completely rolling over them. Well, they're trying the same, right? But it's just falling apart so quickly. They get a couple of good kills and then they're just stuck, it feels like, in enemy territory, completely unsupported. Something's going wrong whenever they are trying to go aggressive this time around in the mid-fight. Still trying to take the initiative a little bit, do get all the early cap time, and will actually get the first cap of this as well. All mind you, without really much of any kills. It doesn't, however, mean no damage at all being exchanged. Flank very busy with the heavy there, but they do get the kill, get the damage on Namber, and Assassin just has to watch it happen. Presses mouse too much too late to save the guy, and how are you winning the exchange without either heavy, nor Devilman, nor soldier? 3 down looking rough, and SDCK gets the point back in no time.
Yeah, you can see Jackie Legs once more jumps in, does get taken out by Skyfox. Buko is been able to get himself out of there and get able to re-aggress into the fight. No flank at the moment for SDCK, but they do still have decent amount of presence, and actually they're just going to back up knowing that they don't want to take that aggressive stance once more. They don't have a flank, they are going to be vulnerable to getting encircled themselves. Question goes looking to get across the point, big bomb in from Honjo, but is just completely denied by T-Ball and bought some time for the rest of his team to get on the point to cap it out, but they've bled 3 for it.
Yeah, that's just immediately point back to SDCK with these kills, and they're not slowing down just yet as well. They know when the medic's hiding, want to at least take a chance to get Assassin in the back area. They are not quite happening yet, which might just get them the Uber up in time to fight back quickly and not bleed too much time on the way there. But as I said, when given the chance, these teams like to hold all the way aggressive on point, not behind it. Basically doing the mini shack as much as they can. That's exactly what we're seeing here. SDCK holding close, taking the exchange right into them. Without the Devilman, nobody sniped all the way back and cleaned up by Hondro right after. That's a bad loss to take, I suppose, but is it worth the numbers they're losing as well? Am I over the point? Immediately cleans up another one as well. Namber going down. These numbers are dwindling faster than they can make up for it right now, and Yeah, SDCK just taking the fight to them worked out quite nicely because it's so hard to take space when you'd have to take the Uber exchange without even getting as far as on the point at all.
Yeah, as good as that was for Equestria to take out Buddy, before that Uber had even been traded off, the fact that Namba just gets run down by Make immediately equalises things. Flank open once more. You can see Honjo wanting to go in for something, but actually Axio is going to sneak in, gets that frag onto Likey. Now suddenly there's a few down here for SDCK, and you can see they're going to have to give the point up for it.
Might just be the case here. SDCK quickly back on the capture area. Assassin just not there yet on the Uber charge. However, red team doesn't want to quite use it either. There's always the chance they might chase all the way because they're holding really close to on EG. Very confident about this, and they're getting rewarded for it too. The sniper sideline still there while they're all holding close, and now they can just pop across clean up from here. This is just making this an effectively vastly better Uber, but a matter of actually having one. He last-ditch effort bombs by Buddy, trying to come through, be the hero. Not quite happening for SDCK's Dane. Will go down in the end. That's good news for EG. Buko with a brilliant snipe to get them back in the picture, but this is a lot of catching up to do. This is a lot of time they need to just make up for now with this advantage they have. That is not going to be easy at all.
Taking a page out of SDCK's book and just trying to play aggressively on the point, but Tixor's manages to find himself point blank with Namba takes out, actually just being melted on the point. Just the coordinated aggression, everyone finishing the damage. Actually, it's a full wipe coming out for Equestria. SDCK are rampant.
Making it look easy once again. We're beating the washed allegations currently, at the very least. At least a little bit, as this match keeps going and it just keeps getting more one-sided, it feels like, as we go along. But not quite over yet. There might still be some hope, but they got to get rid of another Uber ASAP. Gedu already has 100% yet again. They're just barely spawning, it feels like, and it's not going to get any better because they didn't fall back at all. SDCK is just hiding in house, baits them forward, and just pops right in on them. Looks like Assassin understood the assignment. The rest of the team just has to take one for the team here, it feels like. But at this point, that's just okay, I guess. Better to see this Uber kill a couple of people, waste some time, than just completely get wiped, including not a chance on Uber anymore.
No, it's difficult stuff. You can see there's a few players going to get caught. May is going to go down to that mini sentry, but everyone is just putting themselves on the point. Buddy has stickies ready to go. Namba is taken out. Delt gets absolutely destroyed, completely melted. Medic's just keeping the thing alive, but no headshot from Likey. Takes him out. That's going to be the third round, but not the end of the game because in UGC we play two halves.
Alright, back we go now. After a quick little break, SDCK just needs one measly more round to win it all after the short intermission. EG needs to have the full reverse sweep to bring this back whatsoever. And we're starting off pretty confidently on the side of blue team. They like their aggressive mid fights, continuing to do just that. Honjo lands right on the medic as the rest of the team just peppers in the damage from across the point. Needs to be careful here themselves afterwards. Assassin really weak at the end of the day still as well. Bombs away from Jackilex, but it's not quite enough. All they have is Mezzo coming up from the backline. The pack hasn't spawned yet, but they just about catch him in time. You gotta keep your eyes open there, and they will manage to defend their medic when they badly need that. It's gonna be a good mid-win. How much can they get of this? Well, I think that answer comes very quickly in the form of a bullet to the head.
Yeah, not what they would have wanted. Thought they'd finally get something going, but every time SDCK just seemed to find a way to equalise things very quickly. Big drop coming out from Likey onto Assassin. Likey has gone down now though, so it does give Buko opportunity. He's going to hit a nice headshot onto Dixos, take him out of the fight. Gedu's still not up at Uber, and Buddy is taken out as well, so Buko just finding that spot, hiding around that frog area. But he's not really hiding, he's actually using it as a prominent, aggressive spot to just peek everyone from and just hit headshot after headshot.
Little sniper once again, no one's really winning it just yet. Eventually the spam, however, will catch the better end of Likey there, and that might finally open up some things for the blue team. You can already see them pile up on the right side, seeing if either of their combo or the sniper can really get some headway started and just deny them a little more over the point, but not much more needed of that. They're just coming their way immediately with the super charge. They're not ready for it whatsoever. Matt dies right away. The rest of them tried to pull back early, but they're not doing a good enough job this time around in similar ways that EG fumbled the back on Uber advantages so far. SDCK will just also not manage to get themselves back out safely in time this time around as well. And they got the medic, sure, that's nice, but what do you have left standing afterwards?
Finally, Puko does go down. I think there was 7 frags in just the start of this round so far. Finally, like, he does take him out, but I don't know how much SDCK are going to be able to use that. They're still waiting for a couple of spawns. Jackaleg's launching himself in, but just jumps kind of straight into Menix. Does keep himself alive as he miraculously does. Time and time again, we see him a magician in terms of just an escape artist, able to get out of every situation. SDCK do take the point back, but Assassin is going to be the one with a small advantage.
And small ad might just matter quite a lot here, as we've seen previously. If they even get that far, Assassin only in 90, there's already a lot of commotion on the flank, so they're walking all the way through, but no one's getting close just yet. Shut down there, get the kill on Jackaleg, spy action as well in the meantime, but well, it does get a stab, not on the beam here at all. They're still able to get in themselves quite nicely, get forward with whatever they have, but as that is the case, looks like SDCK got the memo. They're just leaving right away. No one's at all in range for any of this. Buddy still dies at the end, and that's all they're getting.
Yeah, that looked like a little bit of a beef from Number on the medic Gedu there. Surely he could have stickied him off, but didn't have too much support. Would have wanted another player to commit W in, but it's actually going to be SDCK now taking that Uber back in. Jackaleg's launches Assassin miles up in the air. May finishes him off. Might have been air shot, but May steals that away from him. But either way, it is a big medic frag. SDCK keep their own medic Gedu alive. Go back to the point they are. For the first kind of time of any of these rounds, a large way at the disadvantage, but at least they have the point back, and at least they have the Ubers back in their favour as well.
Yeah, SDCK have a lot of catching up to do this time around as well. Quite a different situation from what we've seen previously this game. Maybe good news for EG if they can wrap this up from here, that it's starting to get better, but they can't get too ahead of themselves here as well. We've seen it fall apart pretty rapidly at times with just one good play. Kepler's come through once again, so the timer's once again ticking, but losing a lot of players in the end there as well. Bomb by surprise. Almost caught them completely by surprise, it looks like. Not quite in the end. Barely get that kill before the medic's too weak. Assassin over off the point with whatever's left of the combo, and it's not enough to defend it either way. Have to give up the point once more. SDCK finally starting catching up a little bit, but still a long ways off from actually falling into a really great position just yet. So maybe one little Uber from EG can put them back on point and wrap up this round. It's going to be difficult without the scout leading the charge as well. They liked the scout Ubers before. Not going to be happening just now if they want to play quick, and they want to be in already.
Yeah, they're going to trade it out. SDCK allowed to play aggressively on the point, and May gets the end of this Uber. Is just going to be slightly longer. Nothing doing at the end of the day. Back to even Stevens, and Equestria goes, going to have to look at a different kind of approach. It's a dry scenario now. See if they can get any aggression going. Now, listeners going onto this pipe to play across the right-hand side. Numbers now ploughing forward, putting damage down onto that combo, but T-Borden is doing such a good job reflecting every single projectile coming his way. Number doesn't get anywhere near the amount of damage he would have wanted. Honjo and Alessina now have been bled, and only a sliver of cap time here for Equestria.
Ooh, big damage onto the combo there as well. Like, I think missed a shot on the medic maybe, but that's still the rest of the combo taking so much damage in the meantime. On the blue team here, look at that, Buddy all the way in as well. They're not trying to give them much space. Maybe getting a bit ahead of ourselves in the meantime as well. DuMmTm down for the red team in the last few seconds. Not really helpful whatsoever. They need the damage right here on the point just now, because Assassin living any longer will get them the supercharge as well. But as long as they clean them up fast enough, they're not getting this much overtime. And that is exactly what we will be seeing. SDCK takes the fight just in time to stop them from getting any more mileage out of the cap time they had. Shut them down and win the game.
I mean, there is quite a considerable damage and kill advantage for SDCK. Actually, 5 more Uber charges as well. They didn't even get that one crit squeak out. Just 15 Uber charges. So they were preserving Gedu's life a little bit better than Assassin. 7 deaths to 11. But, I mean, nothing super standing out. May having a good game for sure. Doing a lot of damage, getting a lot of kills. Buko doing his best. He was second on the table and far and away the largest fragger for his team, but you can see he's then followed by 4 SDCK players of Dixos, Likey Buddy and Mezzo all doing a lot of work.
Highlander and 6 is going the next few weeks in tandem basically. Plenty TF2 to be seen in different leagues, different game modes. Just, you know, don't want to miss any of it.